Timotab, and today I'm going to solve Not Renbans by Fill the Hat. If you'd like to try this puzzle for yourself, it'll be the first link in the description. Let's have a look at the rules. Sudoku, every row, column and box must contain the digits 1 to 9. So every row, every column, and every 3 by 3 box will contain the digits 1 to 9 without repetition. Renban lines, digits along a line, contain a set of consecutive digits, not necessarily in order and with no repeats. However, cells containing a not are not part of the Renban, i.e. they must contain a digit that is either not consecutive with anything on the line or which repeats on the line. So these 4 digits are part of this string with a not in. And if this digit were a 9, say, then these would have to be from 6, 7, and 8 in some order. And specifically, this could not be a 5 because then it would be consecutive. So it would either have to be 1, 2, 3, or 4 in order to be not consecutive, or it could be a 9 or an 8, which would repeat one of the digits on its line. Okay, that's the rules. I am going to restart the puzzle to reset the timer, and let's begin. Okay, these 3 digits here are forming a Renban, and we have a 1 on it, so we must have a 2 and a 3 on it. That can't be a 2 because of the given 2, so that's a 2, that's a 3. This cannot be a 4 because then it would be consecutive. It also can't be a 4 by Sudoku, but I just want to make the point. Okay, this 2 on these 3 digits could be 1, 2, 3, could be 2, 3, 4. Well, that one can't be 1 or 3, so it must be 2, 3, 4. That's where the 4 goes, that's where the 3 goes. Okay. This little line with a 3 on it could be 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, or 3, 4, 5. Except neither of those can be a 4 by Sudoku, so it must be 1, 2, 3. That one can't be a 2, so that's a 1. That's a 2. And let's have a look over here. Could be 1, 2, 3, 4. That would have to be a 2 in that case, because 2 couldn't go anywhere else. 2, 3, 4, 5. And again, this would be the 2. I'd get 3 and 5 here. 3, 4, 5, 6. And 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't think we have enough to consider this or to figure this out yet. Okay, so let's have a look at this line. So, because of this 4, the smallest digit that is on it must be a 5. So this is either 5, 6, 7, 8 or 6, 7, 8, 9. And we know that 6, 7, and 8 are on here. So, if this is 5, 6, 7, 8, then we still need 2 and 5 to complete the row. And if it is 6, 7, 8, 9, sorry, if it's 5, 6, 7, 8, we need 2 and 9 to complete the row. If it's 6, 7, 8, 9, we need 2 and 5 to complete the row. So these 2 are from 2, 5, and 9. And this can't be a 9 because if this were a 9, then then what would these digits be to be able to connect with the 4? So that's not a 9. That's going to have some restrictions once we've figured out what these are, but I think it's a bit much for that for now. Okay, these can't be a 1 because I can't put a 2 with it because the 2 is here. So one of those is a 1, but not that one. Okay. That means that one of these 3 is a 1. We get a 2 and a 3 somewhere along there. We get a 3 along there. We get a 2 along there. And that's all by Sudoku. Okay. And these lines look interesting because there's 6 cells. And we have some overlapping digits. All right. I am going to color these. Color those ones green. I'm going to color those ones purple. All right, so these are 6-cell Renbans, effectively, with this little gap in the middle. If I start from 1, we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I start from 9, we get 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. So both of these lines have 4, 5, and 6 in. So it could be that those are 2 of those, and then the third one we get either here or here or here or here. In fact, I think it would have to be, well, no, could there be more digits that overlap? Let me think. Okay, this set, I'm going to give that a color. That is also a Renban. And what's interesting about that is that that sees all of purple. Each of these digits see all of purple in the row and in the box. So if this were not an extreme Renban, so it didn't have 1 or 9 on it, then that would mean that purple would have to have both 1 and 9 on it, but you can only have 1 and 9 on a Renban if it's a 9-length Renban. Yeah, because these 3 see all of purple, then red and purple together are a complete set of 1 to 9. So this is either 1, 2, 3, or it is 7, 8, 9. So can we do something similar here? Let's give yellow to that one. Okay, this doesn't have to be a consecutive set of 3 because I have ways to spill out over here. But it does see all of green. Right. So, similar argument, slightly different but similar, is that we don't know that these 3 are consecutive. So nominally they could have a break because these could fill in other digits. But we do know that green is a set of consecutive digits. And yellow sees all of the green digits. So that means that green plus yellow is a set of the digits 1 to 9. Now, if green were not an extreme set, then if green were not an extreme set, then yellow would have to have both 1 and 9 in. But even adding the extra digits on the line, we only get to 5. So green is also an extreme set. And that means so yellow and red are both extreme sets. So one is 1, 2, 3, and the other is 7, 8, 9, but I don't know which way around they go. But that means that these 3 digits are 4, 5, 6. Okay. So this digit has to go in this box somewhere. And it can't go on green because it's already in green, and it can't go on purple because it's already in purple. So it must go, and it can't go one of those 3 because of Sudoku. So it must be one of these 2. But that applies to this digit as well. It can't go in purple or green because it already is, and it can't go there because of Sudoku, so it also goes there. So those 2 digits are from 4, 5, 6, and that is a 2. And I think we can do the same over here. Yes, this digit can't go there, can't go in purple and green, so it's one of those 2. Same applies to that digit. So that is 4, 5, 6. And it's not 4. So these 2 digits are 5 and 6 because, yes, these 2 digits are the same as these 2 digits, and we've removed 4 from both of them. And then these 2 digits are also these 2 digits, and we've removed 4 from both of them. Okay, that makes this 4. Okay, that's very, very nice. Now, this I don't think can be a 3. And the reason for that is that, let us suppose it were 3. How would this Renban work? It would have to be 3, 4, 5. Well, that seems all right, except that 2 would extend the Renban, and we're explicitly told that the not digit cannot add to the Renban. So that cannot be 3. How are we going to determine which is which? Is it something to do with these? Um, hmm. Okay, I've got a 4 in one of these two by Sudoku. So that becomes a 3-4 pair. And I need a 3 on both. No, I need a 3 on only one of the two lines. Right. If that's 1, 2, 3, then this is 4 and this is 3, and then that makes my green the lows set. And if that's 1, 2, 3, then this is 4 and this is 3. And that makes purple the low set. So, all right. So this is either 1, 2, 3, or it is 7, 8, 9. I just had a thought. So if this is 1, 2, 3, then these two must be 4 and 5 between them. And in fact, we know that that one could not be a 4. And if this is 7, 8, 9, then this has to be 5 and 6 between them. So that is not a 1. That makes that a 1. Okay. So the remaining digits along this column are 4, 7, 8, 9. Okay. If that were 9, this would have to be an 8, 7 pair, so that's not a 9. Oh. If this were 8, I could do 7, 6. Still, something about this is bugging me, and I can't quite see. Okay, none of those are 4. So one of these two is an 8, because I need an even digit there. So those cannot be 8. Right, if this is 7, that would be 6, and that would be 8, because it couldn't be 5. If this were 4, that could be 6 and 7. 4, 5, couldn't be 6, couldn't be 3. So if this is 7, that's 6 and that's 8. Is that right? 7, 6, 8, 4, 5. Wait, if this is 4 and this were 5, that would have to be 3 or 6, which it couldn't be. Because 3 is taken up in one of those two, and Why did I say that 3 had to be in one of those two and couldn't go there? Hold on. Maybe that's not a 3-4 pair. Have I used that? That was a 3-4 pair? I don't think so. Let me wind back just to make sure. What was my logic? Right, because if that were 3, that would have to be 4, that would have to be 5. So my logic was sound. I've just forgotten it. Right, so I can go back to there. Yeah. So that couldn't be 3, because if that were 3, that would have to be 4, that would have to be 5. But then the 2 would break the rule about the not being part of a Renban. So if this were 4, that would be 5. That couldn't be 3, so it would have to be 6. So that can't be 4. That is, in fact, 7. That makes that, can't do 5, 6. That is 6 and 8. Okay. So that becomes an 8-9 pair. These are from 5, 6, and 7. That can't be a 5 because it's would make a 2, 3, 4, 5 Renban. So 5 is in one of those two, and that's not a 5. Okay. That 6 makes this 5. That makes these digits 1, 7, 9. Okay. That can't be a 1, because if it were, then these two digits would be 7 and 9, but we know that the only common digits that these purple and pink, purple and green cells have are 4, 5, and 6. So yeah, one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The other is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I can't have 7 on 9 of both of them. So that means 1 of 7 and 9 must be there, and so that's not a 1. But that 7, 9 takes 7, 9 out of here. We get a 7 and a 9 taken out of there. That's now a 4. So this line is 3, 4, 5, 6 or 4, 5, 6, 7. 3, 5, 6, and 7, with those not being 3. In fact, those aren't 7. So that's 4, 5, 6 with 3 or 7 here. That 5, 6 pair makes that an 8. So I can remove 8s from these cells. I'm still not sure I know what's going on up here. But these are 1, 2, no, 1, 3, 7, and 9. Okay, that's not a 3, that's not a 1. Okay, that can't be 3 or 7, because if it were, it would make all of these a Renban. Oh, this digit must be known. That is a 9. Ah, this 6 and 5. We can place a 5 there. We can place a 6 there. If there's a 5 on the Renban, that can no longer be a 5, so that must be a 2. That forces that to be a 3. That now can't be a 3 by Sudoku. It can't be a 1, because then I'd get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's a 1. Okay, I can't have a 4 in either of those. Right, in fact, this digit is at least a 7. So that's at least a 7. That could be could go 6, 7, 8, or it could go 6, 7, 5. I think. Right. It can't go 6, 5, 4 because that's at least a 7. So if there's a 6 and a 7 on the line, then if there's a 6 and a 7 on the line, then it's either 5, 6, 7 or 6, 7, 8. Right, and we know where the 6 is, so that's 5, 6, 7 or 6, 7, 8, and that can't be a 5 by Sudoku. So if this is 6, 7, 8, then that has to be a 7, because 9 would extend the Renban. And if it is 5, 6, 7, and that could be a 7 or a 9. Okay. Right, by Sudoku, we get a 1 down here. That makes this digit 7, 8, 9. Where does 9 go in this row? It goes in one of those 3. That makes that a 2, 3, 9 triple. And that means that that is a 4. And if that's a 4, this is a 1, 2, 3. That's a 5. That was very nice. And then by the row, this is a 6. That is not 5. That is a 7, 8 pair. That means that can't be a 9, and that is can't be a 9, so that's a 7, which resolves the 7 and the 8. We're allowed to repeat the digit because that makes it not Renban-like, and that's not a 7. Okay, so this 1, 2, 3 makes this the high set. So that has to be a 4, it can't be a 3. That's a 7 or a 9. That's a 3, that's a 1. So this is 2 and 4 in here, and we know the order by Sudoku. These are from 7, 8, 9, and not 7. So they are 8 and 9. That makes that a 3. That's a 7. That's a 9. This is very, very nice. That 5 makes that 6, and that 5. That 6 makes that a 7. Okay, this can still be 2, 3, or 9 because it'll either be far enough away that it's not Renbanable or it'll be a repeat, which is not Renbanable. So that's all good. Okay. This 7, 8 makes that a 9, which resolves the 8 and the 9 here. Then these two digits are 5 and 6. Yep. That makes these 1, 4, 8. And that one's not 4. And these three digits are 5, 6, 7. Okay, that can't be a 1, because if that were, this would be a 1, 2, 3 line, which would break that cell. Plus, we've already eliminated some digits. So that's not a 1. If this were a 2, we'd need 2, 3, 4, and I can't do that. So that's not a 2. If it were a 3, it would have to be 3, 4, 5. If it were 9, it would have to be 9, 8, 7. So that can't be a 6. So it would be 3, 4, 5, 5, or 9, 8, 7, 5. Is that right? Yes, if that were a 3, that would be 4, that would be 5. Then that couldn't be 6 because I'd have 3, 4, 5, 6. So that would have to be a 5 and repeating. If it were 9, 8, 7, that couldn't be a 6 because that would join on. So that would have to be a 5. So either way, that's a 5. That's very nice. That's not a 2. This is 7, 8, 9. That's okay with that 4. Okay. So 5 in this box must go here. I have a 4 in one of those two. That's not a 1, so 1 in this row must be there. So 1, 4, 6, and 8. So that has to be a 6 or an 8. So 6, 7, 8, 9 to complete the box. That's not a 6. That's not a 6. Right, this can't be 9, 8, 7, because if it were 9, 8, 7, it would break that cell. So that is 3, 4, and 5. Remove 3 from there. Remove 4 from there. That's a 1, 8 pair. That removes a 4 from there, making that the 4. That removes a 3 from there. Okay, this is 168. Which they can all be. 2 would repeat, 9 would be far enough away, so that's good. Right, that cannot be 3 or 7. Right, if that were 3, that would be 7, and I'd get 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that can't be 3. And that can't be 3 by Sudoku, so that is a 3. There we go. So that's not 3, and that's a 3. And now this cannot be 2 or 7. So where does 2 go in the box? It can't be 2 because of the extending the Renban. So that resolves a 1 and a 2 for me. That means that that is not a 1 and that one is, which doesn't help with resolving this line. But this is now 7, 8 or 9 and it can't be a 7. So that's 8 or 9, but that means that one of those two is a 7, so that is not 7. That one makes that 8, and that 8 means that that is not an 8. And in particular, that is a 9. That makes that 5, and that is 8. So that's not 5, not 9, 6, 7, 8, 9 on the line. So that's the 9. That's not 9, that's a 7, 8 pair, that's a 6. This 9 resolves the 8 and 9, which resolves the 8 and 7. 9 makes this 7, which makes this 6 and 7. And this is 2 and 9. That is not 9, and it's not 7, so it must be 8. That is now 9. 7 makes this 6 and 7 and 6 and 5. That is a beautiful, beautiful puzzle. The way these all interact together to make it that they are both extremes is a really, really clever idea. I love the knots that prevent the that have limitations on them. Not just that it can be any digit, but that it can't extend the Renban. That's very clever. And then the artwork is just fantastic as well. Really, really like it. Clearly a lot of care has been taken over setting this puzzle. Absolutely fantastic. Really loved it. And if you like this solve, then please hit the like button. You can subscribe to see some more. And I would love to hear your comments. I'm looking forward to next time. Be seeing you.